Good evening. I now call to order the governing board meeting for April 9th, 2026 for the Lake Havasu Unified School District. Secretary, call the roll.
Michael Kern.
Here.
Lisa Ramon. Here. Matthew Houston.
Here.
David Rose.
Here. We will now have a moment of silent prayer or private reflection. Amen. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Governing Board Awards. All right, first up this evening will be item 2.1, Governing Board Monthly Awards, if the board would join me. All right, this evening we're going to start out with our Community Member of the Month. For the month of April 2026, the Board Award Community Member of the Month is Culver's Restaurant. Come on up. Culver's is a local business that has been in Lake Havasu for 10 years this summer. They're heavily involved with our community, our schools, and have sponsored and supported the Lake Havasu Unified School District for several years. Their biggest involvement in the school is their Kids of Character program, which provides certificates of achievement for students and teachers, perfect attendance awards, honor roll, and even Teacher of the Month with a free item certificate. They're huge supporters of band, athletic teams, and help support teachers. Culver's goal is to help teachers out, keep students engaged, and hope one day students will come to work for them. LHUSD is grateful to be partnered with Culver's. If you'll stand there, we'll do a group photo. Next up is the April 2026 Support Staff Member of the Month, and it goes to Officer Justin Wilson. Mr. Wilson is a graduate of Lake Havasu High School, and he has been a school resource officer with LHUSD since January of 2023, and has taken great pride in his work. His main assignment is at Lake Havasu High School, as well as Nautilus Elementary, Havasu Pie, and Smoke Tree. He has handed over other schools with LHUSD and the resource officers when they're unavailable. Mr. Wilson stated, "It has been an honor to work with the staff and students within LHUSD and is an honor to receive this award. We are grateful and appreciative of Officer Wilson being a part of our LHUSD family." Next up is our Teacher of the Month for April, and that is Teacher Tiffany McClintock. Ms. McClintock has proudly served LHUSD for 13 years, teaching both 5th and 6th grades. Throughout her tenure, she has embraced key leadership roles, including piloting a new math curriculum, leading PLCs for district 6th grade teachers, and mentoring new educators. She was honored to receive the Golden Apple Award in 2019 and Smoke Tree's Teacher of the Month in 2023. We are grateful and appreciate all that Ms. McClintock has done, and she is an important part of LHUSD. And then our final award this evening is our Administrator of the Month, and that is Shannon Williams, Principal of Nautilus Elementary School. Miss Williams relocated from North Dakota to Lake Havasu in 1992, where she dedicated herself to her educational journey and continues to grow as a teacher and leader. She advocates for students and families across the community. Ms. Williams has worked with LHUSD for 33 years. She started her career as a kindergarten teacher at Nautilus Elementary School, served as a teacher at Starline Elementary, and vice principal at Lake Havasu High School. And in 2022, returned to Nautilus Elementary School as the principal. During the past 4 years, Ms. Williams has led Nautilus in earning an A letter grade from the Arizona Department of Education and an A+ School of Excellence. She has also been an adjunct professor for both NAU and ASU. Some of Ms. Williams' accolades include Leadership Rose, recognition for her commitment to education and community service. First Things First, Partnerships Council for La Paz and Mojave Counties, supporting early childhood initiatives, K-12 Foundation's Distinguished Teacher, and Lake Havasu's Suicide Prevention Council. America's Best Communities Vision and 2020 Committee, and currently serves the Mojave County Schools Pathways Initiative for the Arizona Educational Foundation. Ms. Williams is passionate about her students and is dedicated to supporting her staff. She is a true asset to LHUSD, and we are grateful for her continued education.
Good job, guys. Proud of you guys.
Bring it in front pose. Quarter turn.
Yes, good job, guys. Let's go. Jeremiah, proud of you.
Do we not have any call to public?
I don't know.
Are we free?
Maybe. All right. Next up is item 2.2, our Key Club service hours. Please welcome Student Achievement, Ms. Christy Olson.
Right. President Rose and members of the board, tonight I would like to invite Mr. Aldrin Antonio to the podium. I am sure this face looks familiar to you. This year, Mr. Antonio has earned the Sherry Daly Golden Apple Award, was named School Board Teacher of the Month, achieved National Board Certification, and was honored as LHHS Teacher of the Year. As Key Club Advisor, Mr. Antonio brings energy, creativity to every project. He organized the first ever off-site Cupid's Ball dance, planned spirit days, captured and shared fun staff photos on social media, led a PEP assembly, and coordinated a Walk for Water event to raise awareness about global water challenges. Through his leadership, Lake Havasu High School Key Club students have demonstrated an exceptional commitment to service.
Good evening. It's my first time, sorry. This year has been an exceptional one for LHHS Key Club. Our membership has grown from 80 members to 150 members, making it the biggest club in our high school. Collectively, our members have contributed over 6,000 service hours this school year. Our students have also represented Lake Havasu High School beyond our city. We had the largest delegation from the Southwest District at events such as Campbell Rally, District Convention, and International Convention. None of these would be possible, though, without the generosity of our community through tax credit donations and unwavering support of our parent organization, the Kiwanis Club of Lake Havasu City. We have two of them here today, Jamie and Nancy. Thank you. They continue to invest thousands of dollars to send our students to conventions and give them scholarships. Tonight, we are proud to recognize the outstanding achievements of the following students who each completed over 100 or 150 hours of community service this school year. And just so you know, my requirement is only 25 hours. Let's start with the students who serve at least 100 service hours. We have Christian Gonzalez Reyes.
All the way up to the front, so everyone can admire you and
Jada Hayes. Caleb Kendall. Gabriela Paviglianiti. Molly Sevak. Caleb Winsel. Bella Gonzalez. Our seniors, Parker Bentley. Reese Ford. We also have Evan Barnes and Gabriel Espinoza. Now moving on to at least 150 hours, we have James Intak, Kushi Patel, and the last but not the least, these two students served 300 service hours this year. Let's welcome Grace Jackson and Cassandra Nelson. We are proud to share that these students will be recognized also this weekend as we leave tomorrow for the convention, for Southwest District Convention in Mesa. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Congratulations to all of these students. At this time, we would give families a few minutes. Any families that are not wanting to remain for the rest of the governing board meeting, we'll give you a moment to dismiss before we continue. All right. We will continue at this time. Item 2.3, the Lake Havasu City Education Association. Please welcome Carol Nowakowski.
All right, Carol, let's go.
All righty, okay. Good evening, President Rose, members of the board, Superintendent Stone is not here, but Assistant Superintendent Becker, directors, staff, students, and community. I have three things that I want to share. Number one, agenda item 6.1, the early release. I want to thank you for opening up the opportunity for our staff and community to be heard. I was grateful to be a part of the committee. As Mrs. Olson, I'm sure will share later, how it was run, the protocols, it was just, I want to say that it's probably one of the best collective decision-making protocols that I've ever been a part of. Like, I felt like everybody was heard, and it was especially, it was perfect. Thank you. Also, next one is public perception versus reality. There's been one or two recent Facebook posts that I've chosen to interact with. One regarding the many job openings. I was happy to share with the community that these are due to increase in staffing versus staff leaving. I am hoping soon there will be information coming from the district for our community, recognizing the importance of our smaller class sizes in order for our parents to choose to enroll their children in LHUSD. With follow-up posts for staff recruitment, recognizing those most recent decisions that was made by the board in regards to parental leave, sick, personal, and bereavement. I think those would be ideal in order for us to recruit students, parents, and staff. And then on a final note, I have given you some information. One is the Auditor General report. It is the most recent one. And you will see, I've had conversations with most of you about like the breakdown of everything. I've had conversations with community. I know our local newspaper reported on it. They also asked a question. I'll refer to that in a second. But we also have a bill that's out there. It is SCR 1032. It was ran by the Senate, and it has now crossed over to the House. Fortunately, at the moment, we do not qualify for that bill because we are under a population of 7,500. But again, the goal is to increase our enrollment. So I would like, so that would be, we could fall under that. And what it says is that 60% of the operational spending is on direct expense, direct instruction. As much as I would love that to happen, on the Auditor General report, it says we currently are spending 55.9%. We have increased, we have made smaller class sizes. We are putting all of our money into instruction. I don't want us to be held accountable for not being able to do that. And that's what will happen. And what will happen is that our CSF, our site school fund, would be affected. If you turn to page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the one that, 7, 8, I think it's 8, 9. The one on the top that says average teacher salary and other teacher measures, it says 75,000 right there. And this is what the newspaper asked me about, Mr. Bowers. It's at the top of it. It says $75,367. Keep going, right there, yep, there. That is our district's average teacher salary. But if you notice right underneath it, it says the amount from school site fund is our $14,991. So if that got taken from us, there, you're looking at them. All right, so that is why I highly, highly encourage us to be really informed about this bill. I would not like us to be held accountable. I know at the moment we are not. In the first original amendment, we were because they stripped the actual 7,500 and was going to make everybody accountable, but it looks like they put that back in there. So that's our big concern with this particular bill. Because as we increase our enrollment, we could be held accountable for that. Again, looking at a couple pages, if you go to the third full page, but it's right here, you'll see, I know we've had conversations about, this is our district information, and down at the bottom, it says the total per spending, which again, it's that total column that creates that. I want you to see that that's not, we're getting it, but it's how it's accounted for that student. If you go to the back side of that page, this is the part that I am excited about and I hope that we advertise, is that when we are looking at the peer districts, so that's the surrounding areas, instruction, you can tell from the peer, which is the first column, versus the district, we are above $402 in instruction per student. So that's commendable. We are also above the total spending of $431. Then if you turn to the next page, it's a comparison of us and the district. You can see that at the bottom we are lower, but when we're talking about instruction, we are actually $1 above. But when we're comparing to the whole state, I think that's commendable. And again, this bill, if we got to 7,500, which is, always our goal is to increase enrollment, I would hate for us to be affected by it. So reach out, have conversations with our legislators, and that's all that I have for this evening.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, item 3.1, call to the public. No call to the public. All right. We will now move to item 4.1, consent agenda. I need a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda, please.
I move to approve item 4.1 consent agenda.
A second?
Michael Kern,
Yes.
Lisa Roman. Yes. Matthew Houston,
Yes.
David Rose.
Yes. At this time, item 5.1, recruitment of bus drivers. Please welcome our transportation supervisor this evening. And also, please welcome Assistant Superintendent Becker, who is going to start us off on this agenda
Yep,
item.
I will open this up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Last work session, the board was informed that Bus 56 would not be running its route for its third consecutive week, which is this week. While this is true, and this is not the hope of our transportation department or the district by any means, there are several mitigating factors that come into play when this happens. One of them, I'm the high school principal also, so you can blame us a little bit. This is the time of year where we have extensive travel. When a track team leaves, both the boys and girls track team, it takes up 2 buses to go to meets. We belong to the AIA. We're required to attend meets to maintain our cooperation with them. CTE travel is at its peak right now. We have a group, they're actually back today, but for the past 2 days, we had a group in Tucson, we had a group in Phoenix. The group that you just saw that.
Key Club's leaving tomorrow
Yeah,
morning.
that's what I was just gonna say. Key Club is leaving tomorrow morning, and these are great opportunities for our students. The CTE at Skills USA, that is part of their charter, and it is a requirement of the class and part of receiving funds from the state as well. So there's a lot of travel at the high school, and when that happens, bus drivers have certain hours that they have to abide by, and they cannot get behind the wheel. And then the other thing that I looked into when that was brought to you is I asked Bobby, the riders of that bus, and I looked up attendance rates. There were a couple outlier students that attendance was a pattern of theirs, poor attendance, I should say. So when I extracted those kids from that, their attendance rate during the 11 days, that's when I ran the attendance of the bus not running, was at 93%. When I extracted two more outliers, the attendance rate was 97%. At the high school, I'll take an attendance rate of 93% every single day. Bobby's team communicated with all these families and explained the situation. And then I can share with you that he has devised a plan that will be up and running next week with some subs filling in and then a driver returning as well. And travel at the high school slows down a bit, which helps his team as well. The bottom line when it comes to this, and this is why I have Bobby here, is it's recruitment and getting people to get behind the wheel of a bus and be willing to do all of the things to be certified to be a bus driver, which is more than just going down to the DMV and getting your driver's license. There's a lot of training, there's health checks every single year that you have to pass, and I am by no means the expert. That's why I brought Bobby here to share what that training looks like and to be certified as a bus driver. So I'll turn it over to you, Bobby.
Well, and I'll be brief because I can bore you to death for a couple of hours to explain really what's all involved. But driver recruitment, it's a tough gig, and I'll be honest, driving the bus is the easy part. It really is. It's everything else that's involved, the training piece to it. I talk to people week in, week out. Hey, I want to be a bus driver. What's involved? I want to be a bus driver. What's involved? And I hate to say it, but in our community, as soon as you throw the word drug test out, they turn around and walk away. The legalization of marijuana has not done our business any good, okay? So that's a big plus right there. Not only pre-employment, but annually, quarterly randoms. Myself and my entire staff, we are in a lottery pool, and we are quarterly random at will. And I've had to terminate people because of that. Enough said. The training piece to it. DPS and ADOT have made this so complicated. I almost sometimes even kind of wonder what side they're on. There's people in this room that couldn't name 5 parts on their car. To do a pre-trip, to get your driver's license is a 139-point inspection. And you have to say it exactly how they want you to say it. If you say the wrong verbiage at any time in that pre-trip, you don't even get the keys to start the bus to take your test. You're failed. You go home. So that is where and I'm our certified trainer for our district, and been doing this a long time. That's where, when I sit down with a potential driver, going through the ins and outs of what they've got to say and what they got to do, most of the time they tap out, and I don't blame them, because it's hard. I mean, like I say, driving the bus is easy. That's easy. It's just, you're just driving a big tin can down the road. When you become the bus driver, all your problems are behind you. So literally. So I mean, it's, and I have to be honest when I'm recruiting people. I can't just throw out rainbows and unicorns and say that it's all just magic, because then they get in, I train them, we spend the money, John Q. taxpayers' dollar to train that person. They get into it 3 months and go, this is not what you sold me. And then they quit. Then I'm out a driver. That's even worse. So now I'm starting not only 1 step, but 3 steps back. I will say that what we've been able to do over the past couple years, this year, 25-26, this is the first year in 6 years I've had full staff. I haven't had to drive a bus every day. It's been kind of nice. I've filled in, I've done some field trips, I've ran some routes, I ran a couple routes this week, I'm gonna run one next week, I mean, it's part of the deal, I get it, I don't have a problem with that. But they're not lined up at the door to come drive a school bus. The hours, we're up before you guys even know what day it is. We're here at 4:30 and 5 a.m. My first bus leaves at 6:05. They're picking kids up at 6:20. Special needs kids, little guys, okay? Because that's what we have. We have a time window that we have to get everybody to school for our target time. Then, okay, it's 6:30 now. Yeah, 6:30. My last driver just got in 1 hour ago. She started at 5 a.m. this morning for Parks and Rec. So there's Marcy right there. So the hours are long. I mean, we got a lot to do in that short period of day. And yeah, there's that window in the middle. You go, yeah, but you don't have to work through the middle. Well, what do you do in that amount of time? So again, that's a hard sale to the John Q. public. You're going to work this amount of time, and then you're going to go home and do nothing, and then you're going to come back and work this amount of time. That's a hard sale. Substitutes. Let's go through the whole rigmarole. Let's do all this training to do that pre-trip and certification and get you, a license and this, that, and the other to sit by a telephone. Again, a very hard sale. I've had a few people over the years. This is my 18th year, finishing up my 18th year here. And I've had a few people in the past that, yeah, they were good with that. They went through that training piece, and they sat by a telephone. There'd be months. They'd call, do you still need me? I mean, and that's the reality of it. How do you hire somebody to not go to work? That's a tough sale, so I get it. And having the opportunities to be able to fill in those voids. I mean, like I say, I do my best to fill in when I can. I'm the first one to either jump in a bus, jump under a bus, or go rescue a bus. And most of you that have been here a long time, I've done it. So, I mean, but I'm only one guy. So, I mean, if I had 4 or 5 more of me, it'd be great. But that's just not possible. I'm doing my best. I work at it every single day. I try to plan. This particular situation with Bus 56, I got a phone call the Sunday before we all came back to work. Bobby, I got hurt. I mean, and he was in the hospital. He called me from his hospital bed. I can't plan for that. Nobody can plan for that, okay? That's why they're called accidents. Things happen. And Monday morning came around, I came into work, and I'm going, there's no way to do it. There's no feasible way to make this happen. And I hated to do that, but I made the phone calls. I talked to Shannon, I talked to Sue and Hannah at Thunderbolt, and we made the decision. This is what we're going to do. Let's let this ride out and see what happens. If there's somebody out there that needs help, I'll go pick them up in my car. I've done that in the past. I've went up and above and beyond to make sure kids can go to school, and I get it. But there are certain situations where the decision's limited, you know, and we got what we got. I don't want to shut a bus down. That's my job, to make sure I take kids to school and take them home, take them to their football game, their track meet, their Skills USA, Key Club. That's my job. The last thing in the world I want to do is say, I can't provide a bus. So, I mean, it happens. I hate it, but it is part of the deal, and I'm doing my best to try to prevent that. If you've got a suggestion, please let me know.
All right. At this time, I will open it up for questions and comments from the governing board for Bobby. And,
Sure.
you know, I think it's important that we have this conversation because it is an issue in our district. One of the conversations Bobby and I have had before is when it comes to running buses, because, you know, some of the questions and the conversations we've had is about, and it's state law, if you live within a mile of a school, you cannot have a bus. And so we see little kids that should not be walking to school. So I've had a conversation with the chair of the education committee as well as Representative Biasucci about how can we peel that back. That's an issue. We should not have little kids walking to school in our community, you know, especially in Acoma, and some of our roads are extremely busy in the morning. It's unsafe, and God forbid if a student were to get hit, and we have had accidents, and that's a reality. And so I think we need to have those conversations, but also feel as a governing board, we need to have a conversation with Bobby of how can we support him and his department for recruiting efforts, and just how we can fill in the gaps. What support can this board give him and his team so that we're picking up kids for school and we can have as little amount of this as possible. And the test is another issue that needs to be peeled back. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a horrible idea, and a problem that needs to be fixed on the state level. But this board, we can help support from the local level, have the conversations with our legislators on how to fix those things. But recruiting really is where I believe we can try to help as much as possible.
For sure.
One of the things Dr. Stone told me, money's not really the issue because bus drivers have been given a raise. I would love your feedback on that as well, and then any questions from the governing board.
You know, I would say that the monies that have been put forward to my staff has definitely helped. It's been very grateful, and it's been obviously accepted in a very positive manner. And I think that's why this year especially, I had full staff. You know, I've had people in the past, okay, let me take a step back. So the bulk of my staff are 55 plus, okay? Not to segregate or, you know, discriminate or anything like that. Because of the hours of operation, you are not going to find a 25 to a 35-year-old person want to do this job. It just doesn't fit. That's just the brass tacks and the reality of it. The bulk of my staff are semi-retired, and they do it because they enjoy it, and they enjoy the kids. I've watched kids grow up from kindergarten to graduating high school now, and now they're adults and out in the working community. You know, so I'm a part of that piece, which has been very gratifying for my tenure here. So, you know, that's a big piece to it too. My activity drivers, they love following the sports. My one female activity driver loves baseball. I mean, she demands every varsity baseball team, every trip that she can get, you know. I mean, so I get it, you know, but they do it. The benefit package is probably my best seller when I'm recruiting people and trying to sell the job to get a bus driver in. Our benefit package is standalone. And I hope that as the governing board, you guys are able to continue that for us as employees, because my Cal Worthington hat goes on when I'm trying to sell that benefit package. I'm serious. That's a big deal, you know. Yeah. And especially to 55 and older people, that benefit thing's a big deal. So it's important. I'm knocking on the door of that right now. So, I mean, I get it. It's important to me, important to my wife and my family and my children, you know, grandchildren. So that goes a long way. So the salaries that have come into play has definitely helped, no doubts about it. Do we need to break the budget to go any further or try to compete with anybody else? I don't think so. You know, the few pennies on the dollar that we're able to throw at everybody, sure, everybody's gratification for that. Benefits, I think, is the number one. And I think for me, for my staff, that's probably the most important. you know, and that's the easiest way to draw somebody in. They've got to be willing to accept the fact of going through all the testing, getting all the certification process, and dealing with the 50 problems behind them. That's part of the deal. That's part of the job, you know? And I explain all that to them. When I recruit, I mean, middle school buses. If you've never had a 13-year-old tell you to go screw yourself to your face, you're going to. And I say that in my interview process. And I'm not trying to be blunt, but I'm going to be blunt. I'm going to say it. And I tell people that, and they look at you, really? And I go, if you haven't had it happen, you're going to as a school bus driver. If you drive a special needs bus, you are going to have a kid load a diaper, and you're going to smell it all the way to school in September when you can't open the windows because it's 115 degrees outside. Pretty glorious job, isn't it? So, you know, these things are real. And I have to, that's where driver recruitment, why can't you get drivers? Well, when you tell somebody sitting across the desk from you and they look at you and they go, I don't think I want to do that. I don't blame them. I've been in that bus where you got little Susie sitting right here and you're driving along and she doesn't talk because, you know, whatever her special needs are and this, that, and the other, and all of a sudden you just go, what just happened? And she just threw up all over herself and the kid next to her. Let's just get to school as quick as we can. Because you can't stop. Because you still got to pick up the rest of the kids on the way. Or take them home or whatever vice versa you're doing. That's the reality of what my staff deals with every single day. You know, and I've done it too. I don't ask any of my staff, and Marcy's here as a witness, I don't ask any of my staff to do anything I wouldn't do myself. I've been out there. I've driven buses multiple times. I've done trips. I go out, I work on the buses. I've rescued buses on the side of the road and drove them back at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was here at 5 a.m. to make sure the next route happened the next day. So driver recruitment, yeah, it's important. It's just not easy. Yeah. If it was easy, everybody'd do it. You know, so if you guys have suggestions, bring it on. I'm willing to listen, you know, whatever you think I can do to help sell that to John Q. Public to make them a bus driver.
How wide a net do you cast for recruitment?
What's that?
How wide of a net do you cast for recruitment?
Whoever's willing to just listen.
Are you going to surrounding communities?
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm out and about. I'm a big community member in this town. So not only with my outside business that I own, but I mean, I'm very heavily involved with a lot of things that go on in this town. So I talk to people all the time. I'm one of these.
Kingman, Parker?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have actually a pretty good relationship with Kingman Unified. I stopped using DPS for testing because it was a waste of my time. And we've partnered up with Kingman Unified, and I use 2 or 3 of their third-party testers, and we train together back and forth. And it's actually been very beneficial to my staff and theirs. Parker, I've helped Parker dozens of times over different things. We actually have a very good relationship with Buckeye, Scottsdale, you know, several of the districts down in the valley where we share and help ideas, recruitment, bus repairs, so on and so forth, you know, issues, problems, what are you doing, how does this work, you know, so on and so forth. Yeah, I communicate statewide multiple times.
Okay. Okay, so for the recruiting, is there, besides the training, the partnership that we have, are we doing like a classroom setting?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah,
how
100%.
long is that process before they test?
The certification process is 14 hours of classroom and 20 hours behind the wheel. And that's all documented on paper, and then I have to submit to the state and the National Highway Traffic Safety Board as I get those hours in, and then I keep a running log of each individual person that I train.
Okay. Any other feedback or comments from the
You know,
board?
this has been an issue since we were running on this, and it is not easy. You know, I've talked to Dr. Stone, we pay them more, and like you said, it's not so much the pay as it's the job itself is very difficult. It is not easy. You know, and I'm glad to hear that the benefit package is something and a tool that you can sell. So let's see if that has any impact on it. I don't know if we can do a sign up or a retention or things like bonuses like that. A lot of our fund issue is tied at the state level,
Right.
which might have some words and maybe we can resolve some of that going through. But that's a legislative issue. That is a community issue that all of us, as we talk to our representatives, can be involved with. Perhaps we add this as we go to a bond and override, specifically keynote some funds in there towards busing and operations of that, bring on recruits. But it's, it sounds like you are doing your best effort. It sounds like you're doing an excellent job. Thank you for coming and telling us how this functions and works. Thank you for getting that bus back up. Thank you for your efforts to the district. So I'm glad we have somebody at the helm that has had such experience and is working as you are to correct and fix it. So thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. Bobby, thank you for being here. Lisa, anything from you? Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. And I got to throw a quick shout out. We just had bus inspections a couple weeks ago, and we passed 100%.
All right, this evening, item 5.2, we are going to table. This was an item that was put on the agenda by Member Tinsley through the superintendent, and Member Tinsley could not be here this evening, so we are going to table that for the next governing board meeting. At this time, we'll move to item 6.1, the approval of the 26-27 early release days. Please welcome Ms. Christy Olson, Student Achievement.
Thank you. Good evening, President Rose and members of the board. Since January, the Calendar Committee has held 2 meetings and 1 work session to review several early release options, including their potential benefits and challenges. We also distributed a survey to families and staff, which received 1,857 responses. 80% of those came from families, 20% from LHUSD staff. Among staff, 52% indicated a preference for moving early release to every Friday, while 47% preferred to keep it on Thursdays. Among families, 76%, 1,137 families voted in favor of Friday early release, while 13% preferred to maintain Thursdays. Friday early releases provide consistent, protected planning and professional development time for teachers, provides time for collaboration, while also promoting greater continuity for teaching and learning. 4 days of full instruction followed by 1 early release day. It supports student athletes who travel on Fridays and helps maintain opportunities for after-school extracurricular activities. In addition, it honors the preferences expressed by over 1,000 families, reflecting our commitment to listening to and responding to stakeholder feedback. Based on this input, the recommendation for the LHUSD Calendar Committee is implementing a 1 p.m. early release every Friday, maintaining early releases on July 30th, October 1st, December 17th, and May 20th. Those are Thursdays, but it is the first day of school, the last day of school, and 2 conference days.
All right. Is there any questions for Ms. Olson?
I did have one question. So the 1 p.m. Release time, is it different at the high school because high school is
Yes.
early? Okay.
Okay.
12:25. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? All right. At this time, I call for a motion and a second to approve item 6.1.
I move to approve item 6.1 and the calendar recommendation of the committee.
And I second.
So I'm very torn on this issue. Like the risk to me of a whole year of learning loss, to me, or potential learning loss, because maybe we don't know how it's going to go, but that risk doesn't, to me, outweigh, or I should say it differently. The potential reward of moving things to Friday doesn't, for me, outweigh the potential risk. The whole reason that this was brought before the board was to have the possibility of adding instructional time, and I understand why we can't really do that without really setting our teachers back for their planning time. But this, to me, like moving it to Friday feels like we're moving in the wrong direction. We already have 30% of our students missing Friday, and I do feel like if we move to early release on Friday, that we're going to bump that number into 50% or beyond.
Okay, Ms. Olson, can you address some of those concerns?
I will say this, if they're missing Friday already, they're missing a full day of instruction. If we move early release to Friday, they're missing less instruction. We are not losing any instructional time that we had this year by simply shifting days. It's the exact same amount of instructional time that we had this year.
And just kind of, I understand how you feel, because my first initial instinct was also, why do we even do this? I grew up, we had 5 full days, you went to school, you didn't have this happen, what on earth are we doing? Listening and talking with the teachers, primarily the teachers, they cherish that time to work towards the improvement of their students, to work towards their improvement as teachers, to commingle with each other, to learn from each other, and to improve their teaching and time in the classroom. That convinced me. The passion that teachers have for it, let's cut them out, just give them certain days. But I respect their input, and I listen to that. The second part is at the end of the day, it becomes a bit of a nanny state. When we sit up here as individuals and say, well, we think you guys might not come to school, so we're not going to give it to you. Even though the vast majority, 70% of parents, that's what they want their life to be. And I ran on this and saying, I'm listening to the parents. Family time is the more important time to me. Yes, education is absolutely important, but being with your family and having that solid family foundation is probably the most important thing you can have in your life. And like you said, if we move it from Thursday, which now creates this almost double Friday feel, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, real class, Thursday, half day, and then, it's just Friday. Putting it to Friday gives the opportunity for teachers to teach 1, 2, 3, 4 days and then move into a Friday. If the teacher wants to do something fun, it's a Friday. If the teacher wants to, end on a Thursday and then have a Friday to do whatever. It gives the ability for the families, for the teachers to feel listened to have their time, and to still to contribute to the family time and listen to our people. And at the end of the day, this is a trial. So if this board sees, oh my gosh, it jumps up an astronomical amount, we're going to address that. And I believe that this community, I believe the parents are responsible enough to get their students to school. I believe that our teachers are responsible enough to, if they see these things, address them. I know our administration, our principals, our superintendents, they're not going to let this thing get out of it. I trust you. I trust you enough to give you the opportunity to have that Friday and see what you do with it. So that's why my stance is. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I do share your concerns. Please don't make us take it away. Please don't make us have to address absenteeism from students or teachers. So that's my position. I'm going to give it to you and see what everyone does with it.
Thank you, Mr. Houston. May I please add on to your comments?
Absolutely.
2 comments. We are adopting a new math curriculum next year, K-5, 6 adopted this year. It is really important that we give our teachers that professional development time to implement this with fidelity, have an opportunity to talk to teachers at other schools, what's working, what isn't working, and have that professional development time. And on the possibility of absences on Fridays, it is possible, too, that parents might say, oh, we're heading out of town this weekend, but school gets out at 1. I can wait until 1 to leave. I don't have to leave Thursday or Thursday night or Friday morning. I can wait until 1 o'clock. So, and we don't know. We're projecting an unknown future at this point. We don't know.
And first of all, Member Kern, did you have any feedback?
Yeah, so I mean, as a trial basis, at what point in time, how long would you go? A full year before you decided to turn it around, or do it in midterm?
Technically, as the Board of Supervisors, we have the authority to bring it up even at probably midterm and address any issues that we see, halfway through the year. We have the authority to call up the calendar and change it. That isn't within the authority of the governing board. Probably more appropriate to wait a full year, but if it gets out of hand quick, we can address that issue. and again, I don't see it going to be an issue. Yeah, I'm an attorney, I prosecute. One of the greatest, well, I was a prosecutor. Having that opportunity to take a case, walk into another attorney's office and say, what do I do with this? That is the same thing we are making sure our teachers have with that Half Friday. They take curriculum, math. They go to another teacher that knows what they're doing and say, what do I do with this? How do I get it across to my children? That is a very important thing. So the teachers are given the benefit in this, in keeping what they need. The parents see that we are responsive to their input. My vote is 100% on moving to Friday. I think the benefit, yes, there is concerns, genuine concerns, but I think we owe it to the community, we owe it to the teachers, we owe it to the fact that the committee that put this recommendation together, that spent the time to give this an opportunity.
For me, I'll go and explain my vote. I will be voting yes, and here's why. I had the great honor of being part of the committee and listening to all the feedback. And of course, as governing board members, we received so many emails from students, a couple students, from teachers, staff, and a ton of parents. And there were so many great ideas, and we took all of those ideas in the committee and brought them into this, ended up in this decision. And for me, there's a few reasons for my decision to move it to Friday. Number one is I believe in putting parents in the driver's seat of their child's decisions for education. And that is one of the decisions for this, for moving to Fridays, is parents overwhelmingly voted to move to Fridays, and I believe that this governing board has an obligation to listen to parents. Number two, teachers. Over half of our teachers and staff also voted yes. And we also have an obligation as a governing board to listen to our teachers and staff and their wishes. And they asked for two things in the survey: keep the half day and move it to Friday. And so in my opinion, this is a great meet in the middle, because some of our options were get rid of the half day, have it once a month, every couple, there's so many options. And I believe this decision, or this option, brings a great compromise for our teachers, our families. And again, this board has said, look, our most important decision and value is the success of our students, and making sure that student achievement is not falling, attendance is not falling. We do have that obligation, but we also have to trust our parents and that they're going to do what's right, because if a student's not going to come to school on Friday, they're not going to come to school on Friday. Rather, the half day is on Thursday or on Friday. They're just not going to be at school on Friday. And then the other thing, and speaking with Assistant Superintendent Becker, is it is better for our students who are in athletes, in athletics, for their travel and their games. And so for me, I will be voting yes for Friday, and that's all I have. So at this time, is there any other discussion from the board?
Yeah, I did just want to counter a little bit of the parent choice argument, because when parents keep their kids at home and out of school, if enough of them do that, then teachers do start to change the way that they run their classroom on Fridays, where there are heavy absences. A teacher might be less likely to introduce more new material. And so at that point, the parent isn't just making a choice for their own child, they're making a choice that affects all of the other kids. Mm-hmm. So to me, the parent choice argument gets a little bit blurred when you start to look at the fact that parents make choices based on what's best for their family, but as board members, we're supposed to be making choices that are good for all of our students.
And just on that, because it is a what if, right? It's a what if. And if that parent is willing to keep their child home, right? So it's not the parent who's, hey, this is our one vacation, I'm going to take my kid and we're just going to go. Which again, if it's a Friday, we've reduced the burden on the family, we've reduced the burden on the student, and kind of go, be with your family, enjoy that vacation. If it's the parent that is already allowing their child to be absenteeism, it doesn't matter what day it is. Teachers already are addressing that issue. And most, I would say, the vast majority of parents probably work a Monday through Friday. And just taking off a Friday, or just saying, hey, you know what, you got a half day today, stay home. It's just, I don't think that's a reality that will come to fruition. People need to work. People have jobs Monday through Friday, or whatever the days are. They're going to have their kids in school. I truly don't believe there's going to be a large increase in absentees. Yeah. And I know our student achievements, and I know our directors, and I know everybody is going to be looking at this, because we're now talked about this a lot.
Yes.
If we go and make this vote, they're gonna be watching this. I don't foresee them letting things slide through. So again, let's place our trust in our district. They have shown us great work. You have buckled down and done everything we've asked. Our student achievement is driving forward. Our teachers are driving forward. There's good energy in this district. And I am asking, as a board, let's place our trust in our district and say, here's your opportunity, go for it.
And I would say this, what they've asked for, and just a couple of reminders from the committee, just if you could help me with this, Ms. Olson, is we found a school district here in Arizona that has had Friday early release for the last 4 years, and their attendance issues on Fridays were very minimal, correct?
That is correct. I'm sorry, I do not recall the name of the district.
Deer
Thank
Valley?
you.
Yeah.
Put me on the spot. Yes, I called Deer Valley and talked directly to my counterpart and asked about attendance, and she said that they saw no ill effects of attendance, either staff or student.
And then also in conversation, I believe we had said Mondays is actually sometimes a bigger issue than Fridays. Is that correct, Mr. Becker?
Quite often Mondays are, yep. And I blame our friends in the NFL for that.
Okay. Or is there,
So
yeah, no.
I really like being right, but this is a situation where I would love to be wrong.
Me too.
And I would love to look back on this a year from now and say, actually, I was worried about nothing. This moving to Friday was wonderful and had a lot of positive side effects. So if this goes through, which it looks like it will, then I'm going to be supportive of that and try to do whatever I can to make it a successful program. One thing I would like to ask of our board, though, so one of the themes of this past year has been really drilling down on like our test scores, our achievement, and everything, and really asking our principals to give account for how their schools are doing.
Yes.
I don't think that that part of it should go away, but if we are changing a big variable, I do think that that should be factored into our equation. Like if test scores stay the same, or if they dip a little bit, or even if they rise, like all of those are possibilities, right? And so if we're changing a big variable, I think that we should, we're still expecting people to do their best, but I think that as a board, we should pull back a little bit on the pressure.
Well, and I think that's absolutely a reasonable expectation. We're doing a lot of moving parts here, introducing a new math curriculum. We're doing some things that there definitely can be fluctuations. And what for me is, yes, I want to see the numbers, but when I'm talking with teachers, when I'm seeing what's going on in the district and I see the effort, as long as I am seeing the effort and the focus and, I'm getting reports, and I'm talking to principals, I'm talking to teachers, and I've had teachers that are like, yes, we love this new math. This is great. It's been unified. So there's excitement about what we're doing. After this year, after we get through this, and, maybe the expectations start to crank up as this starts running and we've stopped kind of implementing new things and we're just hitting that status quo. So I'm totally in agreement with you. We're not going to be up here just lambasting and say, oh, why the heck did this not get our 10% and, things like that. We see the effort. I see the effort. We are taking concerted steps to increase our proficiencies and increase our teachers' teaching ability and getting those students' test grades up. And so as long as I'm seeing that concerted effort, test scores and things like that, we'll get there.
And there is usually a natural, it's called an implementation dip with a new curriculum where scores go down just a bit as teachers become more familiar with the pedagogy of a new curriculum. But when I look out in this audience and I look at the teachers that are out here, I will tell you that no teacher in this audience is going to say, oh, early release Fridays, let's just take it easy next year. I look at those faces and I know that is not the case.
And I agree with you. And I hope they know that if that does become a problem. I think we've made it quite clear. We have no problem changing that. Again, the students are our primary responsibility here. Their success is what we're focused on.
100%.
And if this doesn't contribute to their success,
We change.
we will change. We will turn course and we will adjust.
So several teachers have reached out to me directly and written, and they were adamantly, comprehensively made a position for keeping the early release on Fridays. I didn't get one that was, Thursdays. I didn't get one that was adamantly representing the position on Fridays. So what percentage of the staff, it was 50% of the, 52% of the staff, was that teachers or was that entire,
It went out to all staff,
all staff?
teachers, staff,
So,
bus drivers, everyone. And I know teachers, I know there is some hesitancy with them too about
Yeah.
attendance, but we encourage our students to be at school every day. We encourage parents to bring your children to school every day,
So we don't have the separation of how many teachers, just the total staff.
total staff.
All right, any further discussion? All right, at this time, I call for, we already had a motion and a
Yeah,
second,
so call
so
for a
now roll call, please.
Michael Kern.
That's technically a no vote. So, hey, you gotta do what you believe is right.
You can abstain if you want to.
Yep.
Well, then does it go on to next week?
Well, that depends on how we would vote.
Yeah, it depends on the rest
Yeah.
of it.
So even if it's a
Yeah.
standstill.
It's, you know, it's, yeah, no.
Okay.
Lisa Ramon.
Yes.
Matthew Houston.
Yes.
David Rush.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, item carries. All right, next up is item 6.2, Business Services, acceptance of our annual comprehensive financial report. Good evening, Ms. Horvath.
Good evening, President Rose, members of the governing board, Mr. Becker, our staff and community. ARS 15-914 requires that school districts who have an adopted M&O budget limit in excess of $2 million annually shall contract for an annual financial statement audit and the completion of the USFR compliance questionnaire. School districts who expend more than $750,000 in federal revenues must also contract for a federal single audit. All completed audits are attached. I just want to share with you, though, that the district received a clean audit opinion with no material weaknesses identified, which reflects strong overall financial practices. There was one significant deficiency related to tracking construction projects. Once completed, they were not moved. Oh, I'm sorry. Once completed, they weren't moved to assets in a timely fashion, but we've already have corrective procedures in place to ensure it doesn't happen in the future. So there were no findings related to federal programs, and the district maintained its low-risk auditee status. So overall, it was a positive audit. So.
At this time, is there any questions from the governing board? All right, no questions. Seeing none, we'll call for a vote. I need a motion and a second at this time.
Move to approve 6.2 as presented.
And I'll second.
All right, roll call.
Michael Kern.
Yes.
Lisa Ramon.
Yes.
Matthew Houston.
Yes.
David Rose.
Yes. Next up, item 6.3, Jamaica Principal Recommendation. All right. All right. Drum roll, I'm just kidding. We are pleased to recommend Mr. Charles Keller, who currently serves as Director of Student Services, as the next principal of Jamaica Elementary School. Mr. Keller brings 25 years of experience in education. His career includes roles as a classroom teacher, site administrator, district administrator, and superintendent, all grounded in a strong commitment to student success. Over the past several months, he has also served as the interim principal of Jamaica Elementary School, where he has worked closely with staff and community partners to support student well-being, attendance, and achievement. He holds degrees from the University of Nevada, Reno, and the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, along with an educational specialist degree in leadership from Nova Southeastern University. Mr. Keller's leadership philosophy centers on putting students first and leading by example, character, and mentorship. He is dedicated to supporting LSUSD's mission of scholarship, character, and humanity, and is committed to making a lasting, positive impact on students, the community of Jamaica Elementary. Please, at this time, we will now bring it to the board for discussion and a vote. Yeah, you all can clap.
Yes.
All right, is there any discussion or questions at this time from the governing board? All right, then I call for a motion and a second on item 6.3.
I move to approve 6.3.
I second.
Roll call, please.
Michael Kern.
Yes.
Lisa Ramon.
Yes.
Matthew Houston.
Yes.
Yes. Congratulations, Mr. Keller. I do want to address, before moving on, he has done an amazing job serving in our Student Services Department. That department will now come under Assistant Superintendent Becker, and he will be overseeing those departments, so, in case there was any questions. All right, now, the moment you've been waiting for Thunderbolt Middle School. This evening, it is my pleasure to move to item 6.4, Governing Board Thunderbolt Principal Recommendation. Table it. No, I'm just kidding. This evening, it is my pleasure to recommend Mr. Larry Olson as the next principal of Thunderbolt Middle School. Larry brings over 35 years of experience in education within Lake Havasu Unified School District, demonstrating a strong commitment to student achievement and instructional excellence. Currently serving as the district math coach, he has led curriculum initiatives, supported teacher development, and promoted data-driven instruction to improve student outcomes. Mr. Olson previously served as the high school mathematics teacher, instructional coach, and assistant principal, providing him with a well-rounded background in both classroom instruction and school leadership. He is recognized for his collaborative leadership style, strong communication skills, and ability to build positive relationships with students, staff, and families. He holds a master's degree from Grand Canyon University and a bachelor's degree from the University of Wyoming, and we will not hold that against him. His professional recognitions include Lake Havasu High School Teacher of the Year 2018 and 2020, and the VFW Arizona Teacher of the Year Award. Mr. Olson is known for his strong communication skills, ability to build positive relationships with staff and families, and his commitment to fostering a safe, engaging learning environment. He is deeply invested in continuing the positive culture at Thunderbolt Middle School while driving continued growth in student achievement. Mr. Olson's qualifications and passion for LHUSD and Thunderbolt Middle School make him an excellent choice to lead Thunderbolt Middle School as its next principal, filling the shoes of Miss Amy Barney. Congratulations. At this time, we will now take the vote. So is there any discussion for item 6.4?
Yeah, but we do need a motion.
At this time, we will then need a motion and a second on item 6.4, and I would like the honor to motion to approve Larry Olson as the next principal of Thunderbolt Middle School.
And I second.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes, congratulations. All right. At this time, item 7.1, Assistant Superintendent.
Yes. I'd like to congratulate all of our key clubbers that were present here, and they made a smart choice to go home and get to bed because they will be traveling all day tomorrow to go to a conference. That type of success does not come without leadership. So I also want to thank Mr. Antonio for leading that group as well. Congratulations to Mr. Keller and Mr. Olson. Just as I said, leadership matters, and two great individuals. And then lastly, I want to thank our teachers and all of our parents. It is testing season. It is not the easiest time as an educator, and we are almost to the end of it, and it will show all the hard work that you have put in when we get our results back, so thank you.
All right. Item 7.2, Special Education. Good evening.
President Rose, members of the board, Assistant Superintendent Becker, community members. I'm just coming to you today as over the last year in our SDC classrooms at Jamaica and Thunderbolt, as well as our preschool at Smoke Tree, we have piloted the Teach Town curriculum designed specifically for students with severe cognitive delays. We have found that it is very successful. The teachers are really grateful to have a curriculum that supports their students at their levels. So we are just placing that curriculum on display for the required 60 days before we bring it for adoption.
Thank you so much. Any questions? All right, thank you. Now, item 7.3, Governing Board members.
Just like I'd say, the Key Club, that's wonderful representation of the effort and work that you guys do. The students, 300 hours of community work service, my goodness. Just an excellent representation of the high school. You all should be proud. You're doing a wonderful job. Lisa, I want to thank you for being willing to put the trust forward and to move this. I pray that you all honor our trust in you that we are placing you. We're giving you that Friday. Please make this effort and let's have the success that I know we can have. So thank you all again. Keep up your good work. You are doing an excellent job, and let's go forward.
Thank you, let's go.
Anyone else?
So I was able to go to the high school last week, and I was actually in oh, it's been down, the volume's been down this whole time. I went to I went to LHHS last week, and I was able to spend some time in Mr. Antonio's classroom, and the theme was forces of change and talking to students about how they can become agents of change in their own life. And I was really impressed with their thoughtful questions and feedback. And one of the things that I heard in that classroom, and that we also heard from a student at our work session a couple of weeks ago, was that there might be a place for student ambassadors on our board.
Yeah.
So I do hope that that's something, I was talking to Dr. Stone about it. She said that in Virginia, they actually have a student who sits on the board. They don't have a vote, but they are able to participate in the discussion as votes come up. And so I thought that might be an idea that we could explore.
That's
Yeah,
great.
I think that's a great
Yeah.
idea. All right. For me, this evening, Mr. Kern, go ahead. Do you have anything this evening? All right. For me, I just want to say as well what Matt said. Lisa, thank you. I just want to say I'm proud of this board. You know, we don't always agree on things, but I believe we are the example of when you're willing to have honest discussion and respect each other's opinion and respect each other as human beings, you can actually make a difference and govern and do what is right at the end of the day. So I just want to thank Member Rahman, Member Kern, Member Houston, Vice President Houston, Member Tinsley, who's not here this evening, for the willingness to do this. As we look around what is happening around our nation, it is so divided. People are just, and so this board is an example of what working together and laying down differences can look like. And as the president of this board, I just want to say thank you to each member for being willing to do that. And again, we don't always agree on things, but we're willing to hear each other out, and that's what's important. And I believe it makes a difference for our students, teachers, and staff. So again, thank you. It's been an amazing school year. It is coming to the end. We've had so many wins this year, a lot of great success. And I do want to point out one of the things we did have, because I had someone ask me, we did have a safety audit done, as you know, and unfortunately, the safety audit was done by a dear friend of mine. That's why I recused myself from that vote, and he has passed away from stage 4 cancer. So he's a chief of police. That report he was able to finish like a week before he passed away. And so we will have that report. So please keep his family in your thoughts and prayers. He was a great guy, loved the district, got to know Mr. Keller very well. And but we will have that report and be able to present that in a future meeting. So some of you had asked about that. So I just want to share why that's not been presented yet. So that's all I have. And at this time, I need a motion and a second for item 8.1 to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second. Yes.
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 Yes. Have a great evening. Thanks for joining us.
There was like 20 teachers that